Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will do some practice questions based on maxima and minima. In the last lecture, we had covered till question number 24. Now, in this lecture, we will start from question number 25 till question number 30. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So let's start with question number 25, which says a straight line is drawn through the point P 3 4, meeting the positive direction of coordinate axis at point A and B. Right. If O is the origin, then the maximum area of triangle OAB. Right. See, the hint of this question is from point P, we have drawn a line which is meeting the positive direction of x-axis at point A and B. Then A, B, and O will form a right angle triangle. Clear? Then we have to find the minimum area of triangle OAB. Clear? So the, you can see here that right angle triangle in which x coordinate is suppose x and y coordinate is take y coordinate as y. Suppose this is the right angle triangle. This point is suppose 3 4. Clear? 3 4, and this coordinate is x, this coordinate is y. Clear? So, and suppose this length is L. So you can apply x square plus y square is equal to L square, right? And since we have to find the minimum area of triangle OAB, we can do x square plus y square is equal to L square, or we can convert it also in terms of theta, right? We can also convert it in terms of theta and differentiate with respect to theta both sides and find critical point at some dy by d theta, clear, or any other variable. And after finding critical point, we will calculate suppose d square f upon d theta square, which should be less than 0 for the minimum area of triangle OAB. Clear. So we can apply both method. First, we can take variable as theta, and second, we can take variable as coordinates x or y, right? So in this way, you can approach this question. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Let the equation of line drawn be x by a plus y by b is equal to 1, right? Where a is greater than 3. And this is equation of line in intercept form. Clear? And a greater than 3 and b greater than 4, as we know. Now, as line passes through 3 4 and meets positive direction of coordinate axis, right? Therefore, a greater than 3 and b greater than 4. Now, 3 and 4 must pass through this line. Therefore, 3 upon a plus 4 upon b is equal to a. So, b can be written in terms of a as b is equal to 4a upon a minus 3. Now, area of triangle AOB is basically 1 by 2 a into b. Clear? 1 by 2 a into b, which is equal to, if you put b in terms of a, it will be equal to 2a square upon a minus 3, right? Therefore, d delta upon dA is basically 2a into a minus 6 upon a minus 3 square, right? A minus 3 square. Now, clearly, a equal to 6 is the point of minima for delta. Clear? Because at a equal to 6, delta is coming out to be 0. D delta upon dA is coming out to be 0. Clear? Therefore, a equal to 6 is the point of minima. Thus, delta minimum is basically put a is equal to 6 in the area. Delta minimum will be 2 into 6 square upon 3, which is equal to 24 square units, right? So, minimum area of triangle OAB is basically 24 square unit. You can also check whether this area is minimum or not. You can calculate d square delta upon dA square at 0.6, right? And at 0.6, at a equal to 6, d square delta upon dA square should be greater than 0 for area to be minimum. Okay, got it? So in hope you understood the concept. So I think option C, 24 square centimeters square unit is the right answer, right? 24 square units. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 26, which says, suppose the cubic x cube minus px plus q has three distinct real roots where p greater than 0 and q greater than 0. Then which one of the following holds? So the hint of this question is, see, suppose we have a cubic equation which has three distinct real roots, right? So basically we have to check the cubic has maximum at both root p by 3 and minus root p by 3, right? So first we will calculate the roots, and after that at roots, three distinct real roots, that means it is cutting x-axis at x-axis three times, right? First we will find f dash x, clear, f dash x, to find to find the different critical point at which the function attain maximum or minimum value. And after that we will calculate f double dash x at different critical points to see whether any point of maxima or minima or not, right? So in this way you can approach this question. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. Here, see, as we discussed fx, suppose let's take fx equal to x cube minus px plus q, and the graph of cubic equation is cutting the x-axis three times, 1 2 3, which implies this equation has three distinct roots where p is greater than 0 and q is greater than 0, right? Now let's calculate f dash x. So f dash x is equal to 3x square minus p. So if we put f dash x equal to 0, x is equal to root over p by 3 and minus root over p by 3, right? Now f double dash x is equal to 6x. Clear? So at x equal to root over p by 3, f double dash x is equal to 6 root p by 3. That means it is positive because p and q is positive, right? So it is positive, therefore mm, at x equal to root p by 3, the function attains maximum value. And at x equal to minus root p by 3, f double dash x is less than 0, which implies that the function at x equal to minus root p by 3 attains minimum value, right? Clear? Hence the cubic has minima at root p by 3, at x equal to root p by 3 minima, and at x equal to minus root p by 3 it will attain maxima, right? Clear? Because at x equal to root p by 3, f double dash x is greater than 0. That means the function will attain minimum value, right? So hence the cubic has minima at root over p by 3 and maximum at minus root over p by 3. Got it? So I think option B is the right choice. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Question number 27, which says, if A x1 y1, B x2 y2, and C x3 y3 are the vertices of triangle ABC, a parallelogram AFDE is drawn with D, E, and F on line segment BC, CA, and AB respectively, then the maximum area of such parallelogram. So the hint of this question is, C. We are given 3 points A, B, and C, and which is the vertices, which are the vertices of triangle ABC. Now a parallelogram AFDE is basically drawn with DEF on the line segment BC, CA, and uh, BCCA and AB. Clear? So the parallelogram is basically AFDE, and we have to find maximum area of such parallelogram, right? So we can easily calculate the area of parallelogram, which will be in the function of x, y, right? And after that, we can differentiate. Suppose area is delta, So we can take d delta upon dx or dy, whatever will be the variable. We will convert one variable with other. Clear? And in this way, we will find the area which will be maximum area. Clear? And after that, we can calculate d square delta upon d x square or dy square, which should be less than 0 for maximum area, right? So this is the basic method to do this question. You can think like that, okay? So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. C. If A, B, and C are the vertices of triangle ABC, you can see that A, B, and C are vertices of triangle ABC. Now a parallelogram A, F, D, E is drawn with DEF on the line segment BC, BC, AC, or CA and AB. Clear? Now you can see that in triangle ABC, and EDC, EDC, A, B, C, and EDC. Clear? Angle DEC, since C it is parallelogram, so angle DEC will be equal to angle BAC. Clear? BAC, right? Because it is parallelogram, this line and this line is parallel, right? So this angle will be equal to this one by using alternate interior angle, right? Alternate interior angle. Clear? And angle ACB, ACB, this angle is basically common, right? This angle is equal to this one, and this angle is basically common, right? This angle is common. Therefore, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC, right? ADC, A. Therefore, triangle ABC will be congruent to triangle EDC. EDC, clear? By using angle property, right? Got it? Not congruent, it will be similar. It will be similar by using angle property, clear? By using angle property, right? Now, see, if triangle is similar, then this side is basically B, this side is basically A, this side is basically C, and this is, if this is X, this is parallelogram, then this is AF will be X, right? AF will be X, clear? Now see, if triangle is similar, so B minus Y will be this one, B minus Y. This is B minus Y. So B minus Y upon B, B minus Y upon B, that is the ratio of, since triangle is similar, so the side will be proportion, right? So ratio of sides will be same. So EC upon AC, that means B minus Y upon B will be equal to X upon C will be equal to X upon EC upon AC will be equal to AF upon AB, right? AF upon AB. That means B minus Y upon B will be equal to X upon C will be equal to X upon C. Clear? Therefore, you can calculate X as C upon B minus C upon B into B minus Y, right? Therefore, X is equal to C upon B into B minus Y, right? Now you can calculate C as area of parallelogram, which is AFDE equal to 2 times area of triangle AEF, which is 2 times area of triangle AEF, right? Area of parallelogram AFDE will be equal to 2 times area of triangle AFE. Now area of triangle AFE is basically 1 by 2 xy sin A, right? Because x is given, y is given. This is x, this is y, and area can be written as 1 by 2 xy sin A, right? By using trigonometric formula, area can be written as 1 by 2 xy sin A. Clear? So x is basically 2 times 1 by 2 xy sin a, then 2 and 2 will cancel out. 2 and 2 will cancel out. Now let's put x as c by b into b minus y. So S will be equal to S area is equal to C by B into B minus Y into Y sin A, right? So since angle A is constant, so sin A will be constant, right? So we have delta which or S in terms of Y. Now we can find ds upon ds upon dy, which is basically C by B sin A into B minus Y. Now sin scheme of ds upon dy. See, B by 2 is the point of critical point. So if y is less than b by 2, then ds by dy is positive, and y is greater than b by 2, then ds by dy is negative, right? Hence, see dy by ds is changing its sign from positive to negative, right? Positive to negative, right? Dy by dx from positive to negative. That means that point b by 2 is basically point of maxima, right? Hence, s is maximum when y is equal to b by 2, right? You have to remember this. You have to keep note of this, right? Therefore, s max will be put s put y is equal to b by 2. Y is equal to b by 2 here, right? So S max will be C by B into B by 2 into B by 2 sin A, which is equal to 1 by 2 into B by 2 into BC sin A, which is half of area of triangle ABC. Clear? Right. Hence, maximum area will be half of area of triangle ABC. Clear? So option A is the right choice. The maximum area of such parallelogram is half into area of triangle ABC. Got it? Now let's move to the next question, question number 28, which says if y is equal to fx is parametrically defined expression such that x is equal to 3t square minus 18t plus 7 and y is equal to 2t cube minus 15t square plus 24t plus 10 for all x belongs to 0 to 6, then maximum and minimum values of y at y is equal to fx. So again, the hint of this question is we are given x and y in terms of t. So we can easily calculate dx by dt and dy by dt, and we can find dy by dx by using dy by dt upon dx by dt, right? Clear? Now we have dy by dx. We will put dy by dx equal to 0, and we got the critical points. Now at each critical point, we will calculate d square y by d square y by dx square by using c. All the things are in terms of t. Therefore, we can calculate d square y by dt square and d square x by dt square. Therefore, we can calculate d square y upon dx square by dividing these two, or we can convert this t in terms of x or y, right? And also see, since x is x belongs to 0 to 6, we must check the endpoints also, right? Uh, with the critical points, we have to check endpoints also to see whether the function is maxima or minima at endpoints or at endpoints or not, right? So in this way, you can approach this question. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we'll discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. We have dy by dt as we have explained as 6t square minus 30t plus 24, which is 6 into t minus 1 into t minus 4, and dx by dt as 6t minus 18, which is 6 times t minus 3. Therefore, dy by dx is equal to t minus 1 into t minus 4 upon t minus 3, which indicates that at t equal to 1, 3, and 4 are the critical points of y is equal to fx, right? Now, d square y upon dx square is basically d upon dt of dy by dx into dt by dx, right? Therefore, you can calculate c. D upon dt of dy by dx is basically t square minus 60 upon 11 upon t minus 3 whole square into, now dt by dx is c. Dt by dx will be dx by dt is, since dx by dt is 6t minus 18. So dt by dx will be 1 by 60 minus 18. Clear? Now at t equal to 1, d square y by dx square you can see is less than 0, right? At t equal to 1, d square y by dx square is less than 0. Hence t equal to 1 is the point of local maxima. Now at t equal to 4, d square y by dx square is basically greater than 0. This implies t equal to 4 is the point of local minima. And at t equal to 3, dy by dx and d square by d square y upon dx square are not defined and changes its sign. Therefore, d square y upon dx square is unknown in the vicinity of t is equal to 3. Thus, t equal to 3 is a point of neither maxima nor minima, right? So finally, the point of maximum and minimum values of expression y equal to fx is 46 and minus 6, because maximum value will attain at point t equal to 1. You will put t equal to 1. When you will put t equal to 1 in y equal to fx, c, you will get maximum value. Maximum value as 46, and when you will put t is equal to 4, you will get minimum value as minus 6, right? You will get minimum value as minus 6. Got it? I think option D is the right choice. 46 and minus 6. Got it? 46 and minus 6, right? Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 29, which says the value of a so that the sum of squares of the roots of the equation x square minus a minus 2x minus a plus 1 equal to 0 assumes the least value. So the hint of this question is, see, we have to find basically sum of squares of roots, that is alpha square plus beta square, attains least value, right? So see, you can easily find alpha plus beta, which is minus a, which is a minus 2, and alpha into beta is basically minus a plus 1. Now you can calculate alpha and beta, right? Or you can calculate alpha square plus beta square by using alpha plus beta and alpha beta, and that will be in terms of a. So you will have function, suppose you will have function fa in terms of a, then you will find critical point, that is f dash a, and at each critical point you will check whether the function fa is minimum or maximum by calculating d square f by calculating f double dash a, right? So in this way you can approach this question. Okay, you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we'll discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Let alpha and beta are the roots of equation as we have discussed. So roots of the equation x square minus a minus 2x minus a plus 1 is equal to 0. Then alpha plus beta is equal to a minus 2 and alpha beta is equal to minus a plus 1. Now let z is equal to alpha square plus beta square. Now it can be written as alpha square plus beta square can be written as alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta, which can be written in terms of a as alpha plus beta is replaced by a minus 2 and alpha beta is replaced by minus a plus 1, right? Therefore, a minus 2 whole square plus 2 into a minus 1, which after simplifying you will get z as a square minus 2a plus 2. Now, we have to find critical point. So, dz upon dA is equal to 2a minus 2, right? Put dz upon dA is equal to 0, then a is equal to 1. Now, when we calculate d square z upon dA square, which is equal to 2, which is greater than 0, right? So, z has minima at a equal to 1, right? So, alpha square plus beta square has least value for a is equal to 1, right? Therefore, this is uh, this is because we have only one stationary point value which we have minima, and hence x a is equal to 1, right? So option B is the right choice. A is equal to 1 at a equal to 1 is a equal to 1 is the least value, right? Okay. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 30, which says the minimum intercept made by the axis on the tangent of the ellipse this. Okay, so the hint of this question is, since we have coordinate axis, we can write the equation of tangent in intercept form as x1 upon a plus y1 upon b is equal to 1, like that. Clear? Like that. Or a square b square, like that. Clear? So you can write equation of tangent in terms of intercept form. Clear? And that will be in terms of x and y. uh, in the function of x and y. Clear? And we have to find minimum intercept made by axis on the tangent. Clear? Minimum intercept, that means this minus this, that is, suppose this is a, this is b, then we have to find minimum value of root over a square plus b square, right? Clear? So in this way you can approach this question. You can find dy by dx, then d square by dx square. By using dy by dx you will find critical points. By using d square by dx square you will find the point at which it is attaining a minimum value, right? Or you can also take parameter theta. Clear? And differentiate in terms of theta also, right? So in this way you can approach this question. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Any tangent to the ellipse x upon 4 cos, any tangent to the ellipse can be written as C, as we have discussed, x upon 4 cos t plus y upon t, y upon 3 sin t is equal to 1, right? As we have discussed, we have converted into a coordinates form, or theta. We have taken theta, that is t, where the point of contact will be 4 cos t and 3 sin t, right? Or tangent can be written, equation of tangent can be written in terms of intercept form as x upon 4 sec t plus y upon 3 cosec t is equal to 1. It means the axis q 4 sec t 0 and r 0 3 cosec t. Therefore, the distance of a line segment qr will be qr square, which is d, which is 16 sec square t plus 9 cosec square t. So the minimum value of d is basically c, as we have discussed earlier also, that minimum value of 16 sec square t plus 9 cosec square t will be when sec t and cosec t will be 1, right? Hence, uh, the equation should be of the form 4 sec t whole square and 3 sec t 3 cosec t whole square, right? So the minimum value of d will be 4 plus 3 whole square, which is equal to, so minimum value of, basically it was qr square, so minimum value of qr will be 7. Okay, so I think option B is the right choice, 7. Okay, got it? So in this way we have discussed uh, a lot of different types of question uh, of maxima and minima concept. Hope you understood the concept, how to approach the question, right? And hope you liked the picture. Okay, thank you so much.